yellow hat, then went for the blonde wig. Last time I did Moogle, white shirt, silver, silver hair, but I just was feeling like alternating, I guess, since I have ridiculous hats. I also have some Cactuar stuff, but that's not gonna work on a green screen, so... Quah, pretty much. Although I feel like I'm working at like Kentucky Fried Chocobo, and this is like the shop uniform. Man, there's some people dying and getting petrified. Like I said, Labyrinth of the Ancients, you really can't sleep through. People still fail this despite being lower item level. I'm gonna seed my... Fine. I'm way better geared than this tank too, aren't I? Yeah, better axe, better every single piece of gear. But I don't care. If he wants to tank, good for him. I'll be just another DPS in the background. Besides, I look like a DPS with my sweet bloody bear axe. Sorry I have going on. Yeah, Katron Novus. Yeah, okay, they're defensively better off than me, so that's fine. I'm not like being lazy or ew, all the hands. It's gotta keep you. So in this fight, a bunch of skeletons appear mid-round while you're fighting this dragon, and you have to make sure that they die on opposite ends of the arena. The reason why is the dragon actually can resurrect itself. Like, yeah, here we go. The dragon actually resurrects itself, and when it does so, or while it's in the process of doing so, the skeletons get up and run towards it. And for each skeleton that hits it while it's resurrecting itself, the raid, the whole group, takes like 1,500 damage, which is, you know, can start to stack up per skeleton. The reason why you get the skeletons separate from one another is the skeletons actually run faster when they're in groups. So they just kind of charge forward. And it looks like the dragon's died for the first time, so it's in resurrection mode, just kind of hobbling. And that means that our skeleton friends, this one is way too close and needs to be the first one to kill. And those two are kind of close, so we need to kill that one first. I mean, the damage is good, but it used to be like a really big problem. The other issue is the arena is filled with this purple goo, and even me, with all of my mighty tank HP, will eventually not be able to sustain being in here. I guess I probably could for a while. I like how the healers are like, oh, we've got to heal that guy. They're not like, oh, he's standing in to show off. They're standing in the suit to show off, so forget him. And yeah, phase 2 of the monster, same deal, or I guess phase 3 technically. It's, you know, hack and slash and hack. And wait for the skeletons to appear. There they are. Looks like some tanks or no, maybe not. Get on him. Is he coming? Okay, good, he's coming. Make sure that he dies. Over here. Oh, why didn't you wait? That's fine. This used to be a huge issue, but the game changes as people level up. You know what, I'm gonna leave that one alone. The skeletons, mostly equidistant, mostly separated out. I don't think you can see them on the map when they're dead. No, you can't. This one you can hardly see because he's buried. There he is. And yeah, so they're slowed down as long as they're separate. It's just when they come together, they get really fast. And actually, oh, looks like we got hit by 2 skeletons worth. So, hey, watch me play. Quah! Can you speak a little Chocobo? I think that's, what is that, Final Fantasy VII Chocobo technically? But yeah, I'm going for maximum stupid health. Also, what I was really going for is I wanted to make sure that I was definitely a different color than the green screen background, so yellow is definitely different. So, oh, oops. I appear to be getting a phone call, so I will be right back, but I'm only going to step off camera. Wow, what did I miss? Is it over? Am I dead? Oh, okay, whoops, let me pass this loot. That was not a great imitation. That was a sorry excuse for being an 8-bit bird monster. Whoa, hello. Okay. Alright, I apologize for the interruption. Thought I would check the call just to make sure it was an emergency. If not, I'm fine. The house isn't burning down. Looks like I might have missed my calling in the Walk of Echoes, though. No, actually, that's on the other way. So I'm going to take this handy-dandy teleporter. Looks like I'm not the only straggler here. As long as they didn't start, that's all I ask. Oh, I hear battle music. No, okay, we're fine. I am in party C, so I go on the side. There we go. Coordination. So the Walk of Echoes is usually where most parties fail. 4 people have to stand on this pad, and then... yeah, there we go. And then damage dealers have to walk out and fight Atomos, while Atomos spits out monsters, and the tank, like myself, has to grab whatever monsters get spat out of Atomos. I probably need to lead him down here so that everybody gets a shot. The reason why most people fail is that they either fail to stand on the pad, which makes Atomos invincible for the other party, because you see the pink pad makes the pink Atomos vulnerable. The blue pad in the middle makes our blue Atomos vulnerable. And their yellow pad all the way out there makes the middle yellow one vulnerable. And so if too many monsters actually come down a specific lane, then a bunch of Iron Giants, which are Final Fantasy Classic monsters, come out and cleave everybody. We all die instantaneously. We get overwhelmed, etc. You know, it's awful. But this group seems to be doing an okay job. I was a little worried because, you know, there were some skeleton hiccups and we did get hit by the skeletons. But so far, so good. Uh-oh. Okay, yeah. Gotta make sure I'm doing my job, which is to make sure that no monsters get too far. And then Atomos, I'll put a focus target bar so you can always see his HP. Looks like we are the slowest Atomos killers. And, if you notice... they left their pad, and so we actually can't proceed because there's that bar around Atomos. So, slowest in damage dealing, it happens. It's because, I'm not sure why. I mean, but at least we weren't dumb enough to leave our Atomos switch unstood upon. And so now we're at the second boss, which is a little headless horseman by the name of Xanthos, I want to say? Thanatos, my bad. Which one is C? I think C is this one. So in this one, the magic pots make you invisible. If you're invisible, you can fight Thanatos, and he attacks the magic pots, so you have to fight, to protect them. So, here really the big thing is protecting the magic pots. You can't heal them. Instead of saying their typical, like, give me an elixir, give me a potion, they say, like, give me a cure. They kind of look like imps from Final Fantasy XI. I mean, they're still magic pots and all, but, is what it is. Looks like we've already engaged. I think the first party to become invisible. And you can see them. I mean, they're not, like, really, really invisible, but, see, it's kind of floating weapons, but there is, like, a ghostly silhouette here. And what everybody else does is protect magic pots. And if the magic pots are destroyed, then you can't be invisible, then you can't defeat Thanatos. So, a lot of teamwork here. And, yeah, see, there's a... Oops, sorry about that. That is a menu that should not be up there. There are lines drawn between the ghosts and the pots they're going to attack. There's also these succubi. Other than that, we're good, yeah. Things are going well. Yeah, you see there's a little invulnerable message that pops up every time you try to take a crack at Thanatos if you're not invisible. We'll be the next in line, but for now I just need to protect. Magic pot's not taking any damage, thankfully. Although I don't think I'm protecting the right pot. Should be over here. Thank you guys for joining me. I'm just kind of doing random quests. Crystal Tower, PvP, Primals, which are like summons that you fight, Ifrit, Shiva, Leviathan, Garuda, etc. And also right now I'm doing like the big multi-person endgame dungeon. Although this one's fairly easy now just because the level cap has gone up. In Final Fantasy there's a level cap and there's also an item level, so I'm item level 110. On my word, although I'm higher, I'm just wearing my like gimp axe because I'm working on upgrading it. And then there's your actual level. I'm glad there are so many of you that want to watch me play video games in a stupid Chocobo hat. Chocobo hat. Chocobo hat. That shouldn't be so hard to say, and yet it is. Captain, the thing. And again, if you have any questions, I mean, I'm basically in self-narration mode, so I am trying to explain as much of the dungeon as I can. Looks like we got new drops. Ninja shoes. No, I don't need that. Pass. Take the shortcut. So the way the Crystal Tower map works is, you saw when we entered, there was that big pillar, and it was surrounded by 3 giant crystal guard things. You'll notice there's only one there. Well, that's because we deactivated 2 of them, one by going left and one by going right, and now we're going down the center pillar. So this dungeon's actually really big. And the center pillar is... Gosh, it is Behemoth and some big fire dungeon things, but oh, I know, Demon. I'm going to be streaming more often. That's the whole thing. I've got this nice, comfortable setup with my PS4. Thank God for the controller. And honestly, thank you to Sony for having built-in chroma key software, because now I can do a quality stream. You guys can see me without having to do massive setup. Before I had to set up like my desktop and move it around and everything. This way I don't even have to disturb the natural order of my living room, which really helps a lot. So that was probably the biggest hassle, is that you don't want to have to like move and get all flustered with lighting issues and stuff like that. This, you just hit the share button and good to go. In fact, I just bought the PlayStation camera last week, on suggestion of some of you guys that you'd like to see me more often. And I'm really surprised with, I think it's quality. I mean, I don't know if the quality is okay on your end. I'm broadcasting at high, which isn't the highest setting, but you know, it's alright. Oh, cool! Well, if you have any questions, Notorious Cloud, you know, feel I didn't say that right? Oops. Not so nice, Cloud. My bad. If you have any questions, let me know. I've been playing the game since it was really awful, and they didn't even make you pay for it. Through the reboot, betas, alphas, I played tanks, healers, DPS classes. Although my healer is probably my highest level, tank is my real passion, despite the fact that I am goofing off so bad this dungeon. But yeah, Eorzea is a wonderfully big place. What class did you start off as? I will start to pay a little bit more attention. Good. See everybody today. It's actually, you know, we are awake on Thursday after. I guess it's Throwback Thursday technically, so I should be playing some Nostalgia Nights. But last time, we kind of bored ourselves to tears on Final Fantasy 1. I know you guys like were pretending to have fun because you love hearing me talk or something, but Final Fantasy 1 was awful. So I will try to keep. If I do Nostalgia Nights again, I'll do something a little bit more active, like Legend of Zelda, Crystallis, something that just, you know, if you get a game over, it's not like somebody's reading your obituary. It's like, oh no, death, destruction, chasing. Thaumaturge, very cool. Thaumaturge evolves into Black Mage. It's also the I guess you call it subclass for a number of other things like, you can use Thaumaturge abilities on Scholar, White Mage, and Summoner. Why wasn't I thinking Summoner? Black Mages are really powerful. You do have to know your rotations, right? It doesn't get much more advanced. You might be noticing that you're doing a lot of, like, I cast the Fire spell, and the Blizzard spell gets cheaper and easier to do, or I cast the Blizzard spell, and the Fire spell gets more powerful. It's mostly just about managing the difference between your stacks of Fire and your stacks of Blizzard. You do get a lot of neat tools to do that, but it doesn't get any more advanced than that. You're still kind of going like left and right on the little magical scale. What level have you gotten to? That'll kind of let me have an idea of where you are in the plot. Oh, you said you just started it yesterday, so I assume not too high unless you've been like really hitting the controller. Yeah, Behemoth. It's my life, Tutako. It is, Tutaku, I guess I'm saying that right. It is mon raison d'être. It's probably one of the best MMO communities I've been a part of. Yeah, you still get people, you know, arguing with each other and stuff like that, kind of like League of Legends and everything, but great graphics, fully voiced over storyline, and I'm happy to show you guys some of those cutscenes later just so you can kind of get a feel for it. Lots of different job classes to play, really wonderful quality of life updates, and they really listen to their community. They've even added things for like people who are colorblind, people who are deaf. Actually, they have sound notifications displayed on the screen in just like sound wave lines in different colors, so you can know when like the area around you is loud, or when the monsters you're fighting are loud, or when the system sounds are loud. If you're on PS4, you can play the game remotely from your PlayStation Vita, if you've got that, which is a lot of fun for me because I do like little side quests. You can do full dungeons though. Level 18 means you are 10 levels from becoming a Black Mage, about 12. You are just starting into dungeons, I would assume. This is to respond to Mr. Clown here. You probably are doing things like Satasha and Copperbell Mines, and what's the other one? Stashko. The 1,000 Miles of Totorak? Or is it Tundra Deep Cross? It's one of the two. Oh no, I'm gonna die! Oh no, I was too nice! Oh wait, it was 99999 damage, and I had more HP than that. That's kind of amazing. That's the tank life. Yeah, Corpix is right. I think this is the best console exclusive. And yeah, I'm more than willing to help you. I am on the Hyperion world. It's spelled Hyperion. It's a legacy world, meaning it's comprised of players from the original game, as well as new people. The thing about Hyperion, it is a very popular server, and accordingly, it's only open for new characters at certain times of day. Like, it's not closed. You can join me anytime you want, but you have to read their little newsletter on na.finalfantasyxiv.com, and then eventually it'll say, like, hey, we are now taking players for Hyperion. And that's usually, like, in the morning, like early morning, so like 8 a.m., wake up and start to count the characters. And I don't mind helping. I mean, hell, we'll stream together and we will continue our adventures. I haven't talked anything about Behemoth. What am I doing? So these switches prevent the floor from getting fully electrocuted. Those green marks mean that meteors are coming down. You hide behind the meteors in order to hide from Behemoth's big meteor attack. Like, well, you hide behind the comets to avoid meteor. The Iron Giants you see in the background, they want to cut the meteors down, so you gotta get rid of them. And there's some bombs that show up. You gotta blow up the bombs before they blow up the towers. There, sorry, I lost myself. But, yeah, no, it's really cool. Hyperion, again, is the server I'm on. I have my own little free company. Free companies are recognized guilds. We own land. We have a house. It's on beachfront property in the very first neighborhood they opened. It's got all the comforts of home. We have, like, different stoves and desks to help you level up your crafting. We have a little training dummy to measure your damage. We have a Chocobro stable to raise your Chocobro, change its color, breed it, train it, etc. And we do stuff, free companies also get little bonuses that only they can implement on the company-wide. You get, like, things like more experience points, better gathering, you get more Chuck E. Cheese points for doing certain stuff. I know Maddie hates when I call it that, but whatever. Yeah, I mean, it's not that hard to help people. And the other thing is, the game is built in such a way that they want you to go back and back and back again. All of the, for instance, the highest weapon in the game requires you to go back and help other people. It wants you to go back to old dungeons. It wants you to repeat old content. I'm getting new things for my jewelry right now, and to do that, I'm required to go back to old dungeons. So when you as a new player are doing this for the first time, hey, you've got a whole bunch of really qualified people who want to complete the dungeon as much as you do. Use the teleporter. Final Fantasy history lesson, that's Plethagon. He's a dude. You fight him. He's from Final Fantasy 3. He's kind of half naked. This fight looks awesome, by the way. So I'm gonna try not to muck it up, especially not by not being there the first round. I'm gonna exit tank mode. Warrior can turn on and off tank mode and like go as DPS. You're not high DPS, but like you won't accidentally skill hate by going all out. So it starts by the arena filling up with lava, and then he just starts doing giant attacks, and so I've got to dodge all these attacks, and just cast his best. And that's what this fight's all about. It's just about, like, excitement. So I'm going to actually turn off the GUI, and you can see all the different ways to dodge attacks. Final Fantasy XI was very stiff. 14 is very much like an action-oriented Devil May Cry game. Like, you actually have to dodge stuff and get around. The only other game I've heard of that's like this for online is, like, I guess Guild Wars, kind of Phantasy Star Online. But most MMOs are just like, I roll the dice, I roll the 10, you roll the dice, you roll a 2. Where's my party? I'm in party C. Where's C? Party C is over there. So these hands appear, and they grab you, and then these switches appear. And the switches let you put a big force field up, and you need the force field because he's about to do Ancient Flare, and then Ancient Flare is cast, and then this giant dude shows up. There we go. All the menus still work when you turn the GUI, the graphic user interface, off. It's just, it's a little bit more pretty this way, especially for you guys that haven't seen all this stuff and, like, don't really care about the numbers. You're more interested in, like, the action and the sword swiping. So the force field comes down, and the lava goes back up, and then it's just all about dodging all kinds of crazy stuff. His attacks get progressively more complex, so you might have seen that, like, there was just, like, a little fireball path that went at the start. It's about to be a massive fireball path. Or it should be at least 2 or 3. Come on, do your attack. Don't embarrass me, Plepidon. That name's bad enough. Oh, I think we're, yeah, see, there's, like, thicker red lines, and they go out further. We got our hand again. And now we've got, like, 4 green triangles instead of just the 1. I mean, it's basic stuff in the scheme of things. They're getting more creative, too, but I just love these kind of super action-intensive fights. Oh, yeah, yeah. Oh, no, I didn't make it. I didn't make it. That's fine, they raised me. Now, you say add me. Of course, there's the follow button on Twitch. I think there's links to my Facebook and my Twitter beneath me, but I'm streaming on a PlayStation right now, so I'm not actually, like, looking at my Twitch page. Feel free to add me, like, whichever way you want. I'm more than happy to answer questions. See, I try to be friendly. And that way, you know, you guys get to enjoy the game as much as I do. Maybe more, maybe less. I mean, it's built so that you can play casually, and you can catch up pretty fast. The plot is wonderful and helps you level up, and you're required to do everything, so high-level players are required to, like, go back and do stuff to help people, so it's really no skin off of anybody's back. It's a really wonderful community. Oh, okay, well, thank you. Appreciate that. I also have a YouTube channel where I do everything from, like, cosplay videos to hot sauce reviews. It is youtube.com/pheromone with an S, so it's pheromone. You can find that on just a little bar. So, like, you know, all the links are there. I'm just gonna just gabba. I don't have to spam you guys. There is stuff to click if clicking is your thing. Okay, so we won. And there's 2 pieces of loot, so that probably means there's something neat. I took off my bear helmet because it's kind of weird being Cerberus bear. Cerberus. I like Cerberus. Thank you. I appreciate that. Okay, so what do we get? Oh, it's Allegan Catalyst. That's used for making new weapons. I'll sell it. Need. I didn't get it. Onion armor. There was a guy looking for that. I'm gonna pass. I hope he got it. I don't know that he did, but I hope he got it. Commendation. I think the healer's got a cool name. Yeah, Cerberus. Oh, I got a commendation. Somebody liked my not tanking. Okay, well, that's nice. Thank you. Whoever you are. Okay, back to the queue. So we've done Labyrinth of the Ancients, and we've done World of Darkness, so now we're going to do Circus Tower. Circus Tower doesn't need that many tanks, because it's, it uses a 3-tank queue instead of a 4. I know I've got, like, some green screenery. Oh, that's too bright. That's way too bright. Maybe if I, like, balance it just to where it's behind me, that should be fine. Oh, yeah, you can name your characters. That's why I'm named Mahis Sekhmet, which is, I'm Pheromone, so, you know, I love Egyptian stuff. Mahis is, a lion-headed god, and Sekhmet is a cat god, so I'm cat god. And, but I mean, like, this guy is Pia Moshantu. It's got a really diverse character creation thing. What I can do to show you character creation is, I can go to my retainer. Retainers are like hired help, like my butler, and you can change your character at any time, by the way. Like, if I want to be, now I'm a healer, now I'm a paladin, now I'm a summoner, now I'm a warrior, now I'm a carpenter and I cut things, now I'm a fisher. I mean, you can be all the classes in the game, but you can also drink what's called Apata Fantasia, and it changes your race. You can also pay, like, I think it's $10 to rename yourself. So if you're not happy with how you look, you can change that. And if you're not happy with how you're named, you can change that. Like I said, the only thing that's kind of hard is that if you're on a really populated server like mine, you have to wait until a certain time of day to make your character. You can also transfer your character. You have to wait to transfer your character during a time of day where it's open, but, like, if you can't wait to get started and you want to go choose another realm, that's fine. There's a little companion program where I give you a code and, like, you get a giant chocobo that sits 2 people and, like, some stuff to help you level up, and I get something too. So, I mean, either or, it's a really player-friendly game, and clearly I love it to death, or I wouldn't be wearing this stupid chocobo hat. Speaking of stupid chocobos, you can still get the Collector's Edition online, and if you do get the Collector's Edition, there's all kinds of mounts to ride, and then they give you a fat chocobo. And it is adorable. There is roleplay. There is a roleplay server though that's that might be a little bit more your style. It's the Balmung server, and Balmung is also what do you call it? A legacy server, so you have to wait till a certain time of day. Balmung is very RP friendly. It's very RP heavy. I have some friends there. I chose Hyperion because when it came out, I liked Final Fantasy VIII. You know, Hyperion is Cypher's play. Do I have a little Cypher figure to show off? Oh, I do, but he's not holding his Hyperion. How lame is that? I've got some shelves. I'll show you guys that stuff later. But Balmung is the official RP server, and people really do take that stuff seriously. I'm kind of on more like the hardcore gaming server. A lot of some of the server firsts happen here, or you know, neat playthroughs and stuff. But any server is good. It's a really wonderful community. The other thing is that there's something called Duty Finder, so you don't have to find a party to do stuff. I've been queuing up by... Let me change the healer, and I'm going to do, yeah, Circus Tower. I've been queuing up by basically joining a random, like waiting in line thing. It's a queue. It is a queue. I mean, that's what a queue is. And basically it just puts me in with whoever else is trying to do that, and then it shuffles us together. So sometimes that breeds a little bit of animosity in the same way like League of Legends, for instance, if you get paired with some strangers. You don't know those guys. Screw those guys. You know, whatever they say is garbage. Sometimes that'll happen, but you could just leave the queue and party with somebody else. So it's not so bad. I love my fat chocobo because the way you get it to move is you got a Gishel Green, classic Final Fantasy summon the chocobo thing, and he wants it so bad. He wants it so bad. And like if you jump, he really wants it. You get like free fall on a really long jump, and he wants the hell out of that. So even if you like walk, just barely nudge the controller, he's so hungry. It's my fattest chocobo. I will say on the newer servers, everything costs less because there's less gil in circulation. Even the game recognizes that. So like housing is actually cheaper. Like the land costs less because they know there's less gil in circulation. But it's, you know, I mean, stuff sells for more, so it kind of balances out. I was mining. I need to remember to finish mining. Mining. But I mean, I hear good things about every server. I know people on most servers. I mean, I like my server and I like the people on it, and I won't leave because I own a house in the very first neighborhood, so it's gonna be kind of hard to tear away from like a house. It's not like an apartment I'm renting, like a log house. It's my house. But anywhere you end up going, you'll make friends, you'll go on adventures, you'll enjoy yourself. And you can still, I mean, if you miss me, you could just turn on the stream, and I could chat your ear off about the wonders of mining in this silly little Final Fantasy 13 outfit I got going on. Even though I'm like Onyx Cat, Obsidian Cat. Okay, so I got my shards. Now I need 3 more clusters. And then I am done with gathering here. I actually have to go to Kurthus, which is like a snowy place, and do a little bit of gathering there. I think I need to, I also have like a delivery, and I gotta kill a monster. They're just little errands that the Beast Tribe send you on, and like I said, they reward you with delicious crafting items that I just sell and turn into gil and then donate over to my my free company. The housing system consists of several servers spread, which are neighborhoods, and they're spread across 3 different areas that match the 3 different starting cities. And a lot of the housing has been bought already because the game has been out and it is real time. But a lot of the housing hasn't been bought, and there is enough to go around. They add servers to the housing market as needed, and so the housing market is actually like an actual place. There is large, medium, and small, but besides free company housing, you also can buy a personal house. If for some reason you don't want to live with anybody, or you have enough money just to afford your own house, you can purchase that. The housing, you purchase the land. The land depreciates in price, so it becomes more affordable over time, and then you finally get it. That land is your land. You can't sell it. What you can do, what people have been doing, is they'll have someone pay them a vacation fee, and I mean vacation not as in like go out of town. I mean like vacating the premises. So it's like, hey, I'd like to buy this piece of land. I'll pay you several million gil for you to leave so that the game will recognize it is open and then I'll buy it from you. You can't have roommates. I live in my free company house, so I live with everybody in my free company. Each person in the free company can build their own room in the house, and the room in the house... Well, I'll tell you what, let me just... I've already got all my stuff together for my gathering quest. Let me go ahead and... Once I'm out of combat... Come on, get out of combat. Go to Scholar. There we go. I'm gonna actually go to my house. And so the first perk of it is you can always teleport directly to your house from wherever you are. So... Whoosh. And I am the very first house... We are the very first house. It's such a wonderful story how we built it. We had enough money to buy the land, but we didn't have enough money to build a house. So we camped out on our lawn once we owned it. Really good location, has a beautiful view. And I'm talking about like it's a real house because it is like a real neighborhood. So I'm gonna actually go to the front real fast and you can kind of see what's going on. And I'll explain the whole housing system and then I'll visit my house just so you can kind of understand. So here is the the village of Mist, and each of these houses is actually inhabited by a real-life free company. I think one house in our neighborhood got flipped, and it's no longer a free company house. It's a personal house of somebody. Not all the houses are well-lived or well-decorated, but a lot of people take a lot of pride. If you take a look at this map, there are various sizes of houses, and there's a whole little neighborhood. Blue houses indicate houses that are open to the public. You can just walk right in. Yellow houses are houses that are closed off to the public. You can't walk in unless you own the house or you live there. The little star is my house. There's also like services here, a market board, summoning bell for your butler. There's a bunch of shops. The first houses to sell were the beachfront properties, which are oddly closed now. And I thought that was pretty cool, but then I got to looking at my house and the things I like about ours. Ours is a small house, but it gets the job done. There's a medium one just across the way. The stuff I like about my little part is, first off, it's the first house you go to, so you actually can jump off of this ramp if you feel like, and you can jump onto the house and immediately enter. I mean, you could always just teleport there too. It's convenient when you're trying to chase notorious monsters that are right outside of this neighborhood that do pop every now and again, because you can teleport to my house, and then you can run up the stairs and you're good. The market board's right here, so I can buy, sell, trade. The little butler bell is right here, so I can do everything I need. That's also really convenient just to have all that right here. And that's not next to every house, you know. There's only a market board like down here, and I think there's one over here. So I mean, they're close, but the other thing I like is there's a little bit of privacy. So you see there's nothing in front of our house, and you gotta walk up the steps, and it says the Vanguard, because I named it after Cardfight Vanguard, because that's the kind of nerd I am. And so we've got a garden, although it's empty, we need to use it. Wonderful view. I actually built this furniture myself, and you can see like the whole grove. Sometimes I like to just park it here and leave my computer screen on and listen to music. We've got, here's our Chocobo stable, where we have different Chocobos. Looks like nobody is over level 5, oddly enough. And basically you can feed them and you can take care of them. Feeding them different things makes them change different colors. We have a little training dummy so that you can like beat it up and check your damage. So I can like cast spells and will actually, you know, show whatever. You can move all the furniture, so if I can't do it because I'm in combat, so it won't let me move anything. We used to have a cannon as our emblem because we bought this cannon and we thought it was the coolest thing ever. We have this cool Leviathan fountain. You can make it spray water, you can sit down. And this is great, because you're a role player, there's all these different emotes, and there's also like different persistent stances that you can have. So like I can sit, but I can also change my pose, and I can like lean back and be like, what's up, dude? I'm too cool for school. Or I can lean forward and be like, oh, that's so interesting. And there's different battle poses, and there's different dances, down to like, you can make different faces. Let me zoom in on my face. Yeah. Emote. I can smirk, and I can shut my eyes, or I can be scared, or I can make this weird ouch face. So, and yeah, you can learn your combos. That's how you maximize damage. There's a really hardcore endgame house that I'll show you guys. It's like built up like it looks like a hotel when you're inside. They are constantly like just going ham on the thing, making sure they know everything they're doing, maximizing their damage. Sometimes they'll do damage races to like see who's doing the most damage. You can paint the house, you can change the materials the house is made of, you can change the fence. We planted all these palm trees. I put up the lights myself. It's pretty specific. There's also, I have this little Moogle butler, and that's actually my butler, but he's wearing a Moogle costume. And then you go up here, and it's like, oh, what's for sale? Nothing really, but then I'll go straight. You can put your company logo, by the way, on the front door, and I don't know if you recognize that, but if you don't, it is supposed to be a Cardfight Vanguard card, and you see it's got like the little circle and then the weird thing. I mean, I couldn't put Cardfight Vanguard on top of it because there's only so many layers, but you know, it's because I'm a nerd. Let me go ahead and enter the house. It looks small on the outside, but it's actually 2 floors, and then it has several rooms that each of our free company people have built. I'll go ahead and tour you guys through that. So here is the first floor. We made this kind of like the no-nonsense business floor. Each of these desks can be used by crafters. This one's a culinarian desk. This is a woodworking carpenter desk. This is for blacksmiths, and up here I've got one for alchemists. It increases the ability points of each of the crafting classes so that they can make higher quality items easier when they're leveling up, so that way they can, you know, the better your item is, the more experience points you get, etc. Excuse me. So I know it's pretty cool. We get hired NPCs that live at our house. One of them is a repair NPC for repairing all of your gear. The other one sells basic materials for cooking, crafting, making furniture, stuff like that. Little Upkalu thing if you've ever played. So, I mean, it's one of those little bird sippy cup things, but it's a Final Fantasy themed one. This is an ethereal wheel. It's kind of new. You plant crystals on it, and it turns into company actions, which you can use to enhance your company, like different things like better EXP, cheaper teleport rates, etc. And here's our company chest. That was all me, that million gil. You can see it's deposit, deposit, deposit. We use the company gil to like buy furniture and stuff like that. Everybody chips in. I usually chip in the most, but we also have a little butler bell so that you can summon your butler inside. I won't summon him because, you know, we've seen him a million times. Wait. And then I've got this cactuar lamp, which when you turn it on, it shoots 1,000 needles. You can hardly see those, but they're there. There's lots of Final Fantasy themed furniture. We painted the walls in the spirit of the Maelstrom Company, which is their colors. I also hung up some flags for each of the different nations and whatnot. And then downstairs is kind of more chill area. Got a Garuda couch, portrait of the Admiral, a fireplace that I built. I made this really cool dining set. It's actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 tables that are just pieced together, and then there was a gap in between them, so I put some flower pots inside for like a centerpiece. It violates the #1 rule of centerpieces, that you're not supposed to make a centerpiece that's so high that you can't see the person across from you. Because if I go to first person and I look, all I see is plants. But I think it looks neat. I mean, we're not really sitting there. There's also dining sets. I haven't fleshed out the whole dining set, but I will. Portrait of the Queen and her lead Serpent General. Not Serpent General, but sorry, Flame General. And we have a little map table, which is ironically next to another map, and some low chairs just to chill out. And you can sit any of these. You could eat the meal, but we ate the meal, so there's just plates there now. I got my sweet Tunberry lamp. And then, yeah, I guess it is kind of like the TARDIS, because it just kind of gets bigger on the inside. And here's all the rooms. I'm going to show you my room. So my main right now is Scholar. I love tanking more, but my personal group of friends that I like play and do all the really high-level stuff, we really needed a healer. So I took on healing. You notice I have this deer outfit. There's like animal outfits for PvP. So for instance, my tanking outfit is a bear, and my other tanking outfit is a lion, and my healing outfit just happens to be a deer. I don't know why, but because I, you know, have all the books things, because of Scholar heals through speaking with fairies and knowing all these things, I made a library. And so it is just books, 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 books. And there's a lot of items in here, because each one of these little papers and the pens and the stacks of books and other loose documents and like the anthologies of books, including each of the 3 anthologies of books on the shelf. They're all separate items of furniture. You can have 100 items of furniture in a room, and you can stack things on top of it or each other. By the way, for those of you who are like, battle furniture is boring, I am still in the queue. It says less than 5 minutes. It's been 13. We'll see what happens. It looks like they need 1 more healer, a bunch more DPS, and a single tank. So we'll get there. We'll get there. You can dye the furniture too. Like, I dyed everything kind of a dark green because I like the way it matched up. You can also dye your own gear. So for instance, if I wanted to dye my deer cloak, there's, what is that, like 7, 10, there's like 40, 50 different colors. Some of them are special colors. And I mean, it even gives you the option to like see all your gear when you're dyeing this piece, dye all your gear the same color. And there's like metallic dye, and crafters can make dye, and you can get special kinds of dye. I mean, there's all different ways to kind of get it, but all of that dye applies to furniture too. And so this is actually Xande's throne for the Final Fantasy III fans in here, and I just kind of chill out in my book throne with my little reading stand and my extra books. And so yeah, I did make a little kind of secret thing. If you go into first-person perspective, and you know what an Ahriman is, it's like the one-eyed, beady-eyed monsters, and you look through my Ahriman bookshelves, there's actually a bunch of little Ahrimans sitting at the base, because I bought a bunch of flower pot Ahriman. But this just kind of gives you an idea of all the things you can do with the room. We also have a bunch of other rooms. Move to specified chambers. Gunther is a monk, and so he themed his room to be a training dojo, and it's kind of minimalistic and very Asian. So, you know, you see he's got like the Far Eastern trees, and he's got the little fireplace, and he has the bamboo floor mats and the bed and everything. I mean, he's still able to fit like little nooks and crannies and offices and stuff. No matter what size house you have, by the way, your room size will always be the same. You can't have a large room, so even if you have a large house, everybody gets the same room, which is nice. You can only fit so many items in the medium and large house, so they're bigger, but you can't populate them as densely. So I actually like the small house for that reason, because you can make it really lived in. Check out some of the other houses. I think Rose, we used to... Oops, I think I went back to my chamber. Rose we voted as like coolest house room ever because she just really made hers very dense. She kind of overdid it at one point, but let's see. Move to specified chambers. Rose. She's a white mage, so hers is very elegant and delicate. And she's got all the carbuncle furniture because she also plays summoner. So I mean, she went full out fangirl here. Delicious cake just kind of sitting there. She's got this Shiva light chandelier. She has a Freet's skull plastered on her her mantle, and she actually built the mantle. Something like, well, in what sense do you mean is there something like Guild Wars? Oh, you mean like PvP Guild Wars? Yeah, I mean there's you fight in your national grand company. They don't have anything where like individual player-run guilds fight, but they do have one where like the nations fight. I can't get behind here because it's not letting me do the trick where if you run into an object long enough, you go like invisible through it. See if I can do that now. Oh, there you go. Yeah, she actually built this mantelpiece. So you see I'm in the corner here and I back up. She put a plank of wood up and then she hung the Ifrit head on top of that. So she made her room have a little bit more geometry, because other than that, it would just have a pillar in the corner like this. So there's just a lot you can do. She's got a tea set by her bed, bookshelves, some books. Doesn't have the fancy couch. They have like 2 versions of each couch. But yeah, there's just a lot you can do. We have a bard, and the bard's room's pretty cool. Oops, move to my chamber again. Our bard has a bunch of musical instruments that only they can play, but let's see. Yeah, Kasha. Yeah, see, I can't play any of these because I don't own them, and when you have stuff that can be used, it can only be used by the owner of the room, so it kind of sucks, because, like, but, like, you can play this timpani, it just plays one song. You can play that piano, you can play the cello, you can play the harp, you can play this marching horn, and so it's just her little musical office. And then we have someone who is just in charge of gathering and like running the company garden, and they're basically our quartermaster, and they have like a straight up office, like serious business only folks. And you can see, I mean, this is like, you know, you got a little waiting room and you walk in and various chairs, and they even have a working clock. So it is like 11 o'clock at yours again time. It's 11:40, and that clock actually says 11:40 Eorzea time. So, and this clock also says 11:40, which is a little easier to see because it's numbered really well. I think it's like a Final Fantasy 13 clock. And there's little action figures. See, they got like a little Arimon clock and a Magitech and a little Chocobo that drips love and a potted vase. So there's lots of different kinds of furniture and lots of different stuff you can do. You know, I mentioned you can put your company crest on your house, so you can also put it in your armor. If you look at the top of my deer hat, it's got that same Vanguard card symbol on it. And just a lot of neat little quality of life things. If you're super into your guild and like you're all like militaristic, it also has like various ranking things, so you can go to rank, you can go to rank like hierarchy settings, and you can like, oh, they can change the crest design, but not alter the settings. They can't promote people, or they can only deposit money into the chest, but they can't take out items. They can change, you know, the customization of our greeting when somebody enters our house, but not whether or not people can enter. So it's very, very specific. Circus Tower, here we come. And this is the last floor of the Crystal Tower that I needed for my quest, so you guys get to see the whole Final Fantasy III experience. It's not a hole in time and space, it's a green lid to the T. I'm trying to keep my voice, you know, alright so I don't lose it. Somebody left our queue, so we gotta re-queue, which is fine, that's not that difficult. So back to the action. Before I get back into it, thanks again for joining me, guys. If not, I would just be sitting in my lonely house waiting for the queue by myself. Although, as beautiful as this house is, it is not a replacement for hanging out with you guys. So thanks again. Just gonna sit and I guess wait for my turn. And then after this, I'll probably start hitting up PvP. I still need the World of Darkness for the weekly drop, but... Oh, my YouTube name again, here I'll type it because it's easier, is youtube.com/I cannot believe somebody left. Again, it's youtube.com/pheromones. And here I'll make this easier for you. www.youtube.com /pheromones. And the reason it's pheromones and not pheromone is because somebody actually had that. They were creative enough to come up with that silly little nickname, so... But there you go. And sometimes I upload stuff from live streams. There's old cosplay videos and stuff. I do a lot of cosplay. You probably can tell that from like my banners and stuff like that. Sometimes it's hot sauce review videos because I am a glutton for punishment. Other times it's vlogs and stuff like that. So I guess if you have sat with me this long, then you can definitely go through the back catalog. I'm also a big card game nerd for things like Yu-Gi-Oh!, Cardfight Vanguard. Not so much Magic the Gathering anymore, mostly the Japanese games, but... welcome to Circus Tower, by the way. Here we are in the glorious heart of Alag. This is basically more retro Final Fantasy III stuff. If you like Labyrinth of the Ancients and you like the World of Darkness, then you'll love Crystal Tower. This is actually the second one, so it goes Labyrinth of the Ancients as the base, and then you go into Circus Tower, and then Circus Tower has a warp to go to World of Darkness. 24-person dungeon, 3 parties of 8, and 1 tank, 2 healers, 5 DPS. And there's 3 things basically to be tanked from all the little nonsense monsters. Although most people have figured out ways to do this where you don't have to actually like tax anybody but the single tank. So it can be kind of boring if you're a tank here, you're just kind of hanging out. Or if you're looking for a break, it can be very relaxing. The place is huge, by the way. It's a little different. It's much more vertical than the Labyrinth of the Ancients. If you were watching during that, you remember we went like all the way to the left, and then all the way to the right, and then all the way north, and then there was a little center thing. This one just goes vertically up, and so it's floor by floor by floor by floor. Question for you guys, how many of you are watching this on the Twitch page, and how many of you are watching this on the Live from PlayStation app that comes with PS4 and think PS Vita has it too. I mean, if everybody's watching on Twitch, that's fine, but I always wonder, because, like, I watch live from PlayStation when I get, you know, just curious about, like, what's going on there. Sometimes it's a lot of Ustream stuff, people just playing around with their camera, but yeah, just wondering who's just kind of looking around, that's all, and how they're doing it. Okay. Really? Okay, cool, so people do use that. That's neat. I mean, I think it's neat, at least. I'm glad you guys have an interest in Final Fantasy XIV. It's really cool. I used to do a lot of Final Fantasy XI streams. In fact, I did a 20-hour stream that you can find on my YouTube of me leveling a job class from 1 to 99 without break, without sleep, using whatever means necessary that I could. That's really cool. I'm actually happy to see that, like, I'm finding friends who are live from PS4. If you want to add me on PSN, this is my PSN. And so that way you can, I mean, that doesn't help you when you're on a game that has like subsets of servers, but you know, I've also played things like Guilty Gear and PT and stuff like that. But yeah, that way, and the other thing that's neat also, by the way, if you're playing this on PlayStation and you examine somebody, it shows you, see where it says online ID at the bottom right? You can make friends and then add them on PSN just by examining them, so. If this seems like a big chaotic mess, by the way, it is. You know, Scholar's really easy too. You have a fairy that you can summon, and the fairy is half your healing power, and then you're the other half of your healing power. Many Scholars rely on the fairy to heal for them, and they do damage over time because you've got a stance that switches all your wisdom, your mind, healing power, to intelligence, which is your casting spell damage. And so, like, Scholars are really expected to crank out the damage while still healing because they can do both. Welcome back! Tudiko, I just mentioned, and you can check this out, I used to stream a lot of Final Fantasy XI, which was the old online Final Fantasy game, came out like years ago, but there's a 20-hour stream on my YouTube channel, which you just subscribed to, which is me leveling Geomancer from 1 to 99 in like one sitting. And you can watch me like wilt like a flower, like just progressively grow more and more tired. But it was fun. I don't regret that one for nothing. It was called Geomancer Journeys. When I'm on PC, I tend to do a little bit more glitz and glamour, you know, graphical inlays and stuff. PlayStation doesn't let you do that. All I can do is be on a green screen, which is fine. We are about to fight Scylla, and Scylla is somebody told me Scylla's a girl. Scylla is a girl. Okay, I did not know that. I always thought it was like a really macho dude, but those aren't pectoral muscles. Those are really beefy, you know. Well, but Scylla has a few mechanics. Every boss has like a set of rules basically that they operate under, and that's, if you don't follow the rules, then the whole group dies. And I like that about 14, that it makes everybody have an active role as opposed to just the tanks or just the healers. So you see this guy's got this little purple arrow over him. He's got to drag that purple ball chasing him. Hello? There he goes, okay. So you gotta drag the purple ball, and you see how like it lit up? And see that person's dragging another purple ball in, so that lights up? What we're doing is we're charging these little stations that help us seal in Scylla into a little magical force field to prevent her from doing her ultimate attack, and it backfires on itself, and it's pretty cool. But that's the first thing that happens, and you gotta do that over time on the fight. The other one is these staves, that's the plural of staff, by the way. Staves show up and they shoot beams across, and then Scylla does Holy, which is just damage to everybody, and so you've got all this stuff going on. And then there's like these blue little tether balls that chase you, and I haven't found anybody who has one, but the end result is you get captured by ice. Oh yeah, I think I see somebody with a blue tether on them now. And somebody with red tether balls has to drag the red tether ball into the person who's trapped in ice. Waiting for somebody to do that correctly. They're oversteering it really bad. And now that person died because they oversteered. Oh, I've got the lightning. Wait, that one's full. That one's full. Oh, these are all full, so nobody needs that. So you drag the red tether balls into the people who are frozen, and it's supposed to melt them. Here you go. And it melts them, and then you get a puddle, and the puddle gives you fire resistance up, so that when Scylla casts Flare, which you just did, you take less damage. I took no damage now. And so that's one mechanic. You also got these exploding circles. I'm about to get turned into ice, so I'm just gonna like run straight into it. And somebody did just melt me, which is cool. You can, if you get frozen on top of a puddle, the puddle freezes and disappears, so you want to watch out for that.